Well, a big honor for a high school student in San Jose, and she is going to be joining us. She is one of two students representing California in the U.S. Senate Youth Program. She joins us right now to talk a little bit more about the program. Can you introduce yourself and make sure that the audience knows you?
Yes, for sure. So my name is Sneha Revanur, and I am a senior at Evergreen Valley High School in San Jose, California. And like you said, I've been honored to be selected for the U.S. Senate Youth Program for California.
And tell me how exciting this is. I could only imagine.
Yeah, it's a huge honor. The scholarship money will be amazing. And obviously, even beyond that, I think that the opportunity to participate in Washington Week, which will take me to meetings with federal officials, my own senators, possibly the president and Supreme Court justices, that's just an honor for sure. And I think that it was so surreal. I think that when I submitted the application, I almost forgot that I even applied because I really thought I had no shot. And I think when I heard from the state superintendent a couple of days ago that I was selected via a phone call from him, I think I went into a state of shock because I couldn't process what he was saying, and I definitely didn't believe that I had a chance. And so, hearing that I did was just honestly astonishing.
So, what do you think set yourself apart? I mean, what you have to brag just a little bit. What do you think was something that just really
Of
kind of
course.
spoke
So
to
I think
them?
that Yeah, for sure. So I think that one thing that does distinguish me is my history of actually engaging in direct political action, of actually having experience lobbying. So I serve as the founder and president of ENCO Justice, which is an international organization mobilizing youth for human rights in the age of artificial intelligence. And through that experience and in that position, I've actually had the opportunity to visit Capitol Hill to lobby in person and lobby on, tech policy priorities. So for example, I was able to meet with a string of congressional offices from Senator Tim Scott to Senator Joni Ernst and actually speak with their staffers on issues of AI policy. And so I think that representing the Silicon Valley, the epicenter of technological innovation, being able to also contribute my generation's unique insights on issues of social justice, I think that I really have really directly engaged in those sorts of causes because I am motivated to serve my community and to sort of get involved in public service in the future. So I think that my track record of sort of being closely involved in political action might have set me apart, but honestly, I definitely did not think that I had a chance, like I said. And so hearing that I was selected just took me aback. And I think that there definitely will probably a pool of qualified candidates, and to hear that I was able to be selected from among them is amazing.
Well, Snea, what are you looking forward to most when you go back east? Is it the Supreme Court justice? Is it what is number one on the list to do?
Yeah, so honestly, there's so many things that I'm looking forward to. But if I had to pick the top thing, I definitely would have to say meeting with my home state senators is going to be amazing. Meeting with Senator Feinstein and Senator Padilla to discuss issues that pertain to Californians will be a wonderful experience. And I also think that a secondary accomplishment that I'm really looking forward to is actually being able to meet the other delegates, because obviously now that I've been selected, I've been inducted into this network of, youth across the country who are very interested in politics and public service. And so having the chance to meet with them and speak with them about issues of politics, of social issues, and today's challenges, I think that will be an amazing experience. And I hope to make some lifelong friends and connections. So I think that both the chance to meet my home state senators and also to meet other youth from across the country who are pretty closely engaged in the same fields that I'm engaged in.
It must be challenging these days. I mean, there's still so many obstacles in regards to the pandemic. You know, we are dealing with this new variant. I mean, kind of speak about that.
Yeah, definitely. So I do want to address the fact that there definitely have been some roadblocks because of the pandemic. And pretty much the entire course of my political awakening took place over the course of the pandemic. And so every advocacy organization I've been involved in that has been during the pandemic. And so that definitely has limited my ability to engage in maybe in-person action. I would love to be attending protests more frequently and to be able to speak with offices in person more often. But I think that even then I've been able to still carry out some pretty impactful work. I think behind a screen. And so we've seen how social media, for example, has allowed me to unlock networks far and wide. We've been able to recruit youth for advocacy work from across the country, across the world. And so I think that, even though in some ways it has been an inhibiting factor, it has been an asset in some ways. And so I think that in that sense, the pandemic has been a double-edged sword, but at the same time, it's important for us to be conscious of the, toll it's taken in our communities. And I think that it's also been a time of awakening and self-consciousness for a lot of us as we come to grips with some of these issues that are facing our communities.
What are some of the issues that you really have found to be challenging, all of this personally speaking, from a personal platform?
Yeah, definitely. So I think we've seen how locally, especially, there's been a spate of teen suicides that have really, aggravated the open wound already created by the pandemic. And so that is sort of what launched me to get involved in the Santa Clara County Youth Advisory Group. And that's actually how I was able to qualify for the Senate Youth Program in my position, advising the Office of Education on issues of mental health awareness. And so we've seen how I've actually been able to directly represent my peers in those discussions. And it's been amazing to be able to make policy recommendations to directly enact change. And so I think that mental health awareness, for sure. I think we've also seen how we've been having renewed dialogue around civil rights and racial equity, statewide, nationwide, and around the world. I think that all of those causes are coming to the fore, and I definitely can't wait to see, what action we're able to take in the future. But definitely in terms of issues that are near and dear to my heart, I think that mental health awareness is one that I have personally seen the impacts of, and that I'm also trying to take action on in my role on the Youth Advisory Group to the Santa Clara County Office of Education.
Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate you taking time, and we look forward to talking to you after your trip. When is the trip exactly? What's the date?
Yeah, so it's actually taking place in March, and I don't think things are set in stone yet. So because of the pandemic, because of the new variant, there might be some challenges in, adopting an in-person program. So it might actually end up being online. But nonetheless, I'm sure it'll be an amazing experience, a very enriching experience, and I can't wait to see what I can bring back to my home state either way. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I will let you guys know how that goes.
Make sure that you stay in touch, and we would love to hear all about it. And I have a very good sense that you will be able to match those challenges, right?
Hopefully. Thank you so much. That's amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time.